Now we are going to be replacing the airbag and possibly this piece back here as well. I haven't made that decision yet. I'm not sure if it requires replacement, but when I bought this kit, it came with the replacement. So I'm gonna start tearing it down and see what it looks like. Now, first thing you'll notice is this little tab right there. Now that tab needs to be removed, and underneath that tab is a screw. I believe there's a second one somewhere over here on this other side. There is. It is. Where the heck are you? Right there. Hey, there it is. Alright, so I'm going to pop both of those off. I'm going to remove the screws from both of those. And I believe that is going to release the airbag. Okay, so couple things. First off, those two screws that I needed to remove, that literally was all it took to get those off. And I was able to pull those out, but they are weird. So let's see if I can get that. There we go. Okay, so these guys decided that they were going to make it hard for us to pull off airbags and such. So I had to go and buy this kit of special end hex thingies. I believe I used this one for the size, but this whole kit, I mean, that's the T3U. Yeah, T3U. The whole kit was $5. So, I mean, it's not that big a deal if you have to buy the whole kit. And I even went to a specialty tool shop to get it. I didn't check the other ones, like Lowe's and Home Depot. They might have these. But if I got it for $5 at a specialty shop, I'm sure it's going to cost less than that at a big box place. So, now to this little column deal. I am definitely going to be replacing this column deal. And here's the reason. When I went to pop off a little black clip that looks like this guy on these, they both snapped off, and I have since just massacred this thing. So I'm just going to replace it. I think it's going to be easier for everybody, and it will work like it's supposed to. So that is the plan at this point, and I'm going to move forward with that. Alright, so steering wheel has been removed. That is right here. So it was actually fairly simple to remove the steering wheel. There was a main bolt right here that was 19 millimeter, and then there were this was attached here like that, and there were two of these bolts, one on either side, there and there, and that was all it took. So now I pulled that guy off, and from here I have to just remove this cover, and then there are a couple of bolts to hold this on, and I'll swap that out, and that's it. So a couple of screws beneath that on either side that I'll need to loosen, and this whole piece should come off. So there were actually 4 screws, 2 right underneath, 1 further in the back, and 1 actually that was underneath the steering wheel tilt handle. So once I got those 4 loose, this took a little bit of finagling, but I got it out. There are 2 screws here and here, and 2 screws here and here. Those 4 need to be removed. Once I get those 4 screws out, this should just slip right out. Okay, old piece out, new piece is in. So that was somewhere in between not terrible and completely obnoxious. So I was wrong. There are not screws here and here. It's just here and here. And that was it. That's all I had to do to get those out. Sorry, my finger was in the way there. That's all I had to do to get that out, aside from bending this thing much further beyond its capability, I'm sure. But it survived. And wriggling this thing out. Now, on the back side of it, there are actually three plugs. And this is the old one, and I'll show you where those are. So the first one is on the top here, and that one doesn't have a whole lot of play. So you're gonna have to remove that, and it has just a button on top, so you have to just push down and it'll pop free. You're gonna have to do that while it's still up against this. The second two are at the bottom here and here, and once you release the top one, then you can actually pull this down, flip it over, and kind of manipulate them that way. So it won't be such a big deal to get those two out. They fit very specific way, so they will only go one direction. Once you get those plugged in, then you can push it back up into place and then kind of reach in there and put the third one in place as well. So now that that's back together, I'm going to put this guy back on and get the steering wheel put back together. Okay, so wheel is back on, steering wheel is on. I do need to install this piece. Now, this piece is basically how your horn functions and doesn't just honk all the time. And the way that's done is by using a couple of springs. Now, these springs fit here and here, and those springs fit on the back of this guy right there and right there, basically. You go and put that in. Once that's in, these two sets of wires, so we've got that wire and we have this wire, they need to come through. Now this wire has a little hook, it's kind of hard to see, I'll turn this, right there, that you'll want to hook that through. And also these two wires for your airbag are going to go through this little clip. That just keeps them in place so they don't get pinched and they don't get ruined. There's also a little ground wire right here that just connects to this little point right there. And that's all there is to it. Once that's done, I'll put the new airbag on and put in those two jerk screws, and it'll be all together and done. Okay, so we are done. Airbag repair is complete. We now have a nice looking interior. Everything's put together. Just needs to be cleaned up a little bit, but it is now drivable once again. Okay, as a final note with this airbag replacement, I noticed as I was looking back and I was just going over these and trying to figure out why that wouldn't come apart the way I wanted it to. I looked a little closer at the airbag on the driver's side. Now, it's kind of focused, there we go. Okay, so it's a little hard to tell, but those are melted. They're melted on there. Did a little research and turns out that when this airbag deploys, it destroys those plugs, these plugs, and that's why I wasn't able to just pop them out like they're supposed to just come out. They broke and destroyed them. So if you are looking to do this type of airbag replacement, you will have to replace this steel as well. Now I have seen just this piece online. It didn't have either one of these. But I haven't done the work to try and pull this guy apart to see how that would actually work. But you might just be able to replace this instead of the whole piece. So let me know if you have any questions. Good luck.